Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my YourMC Let's Play. So over about the last week, more so half of the week, over the last week because the other half I've been distracted by things and doing other stuff, which I hopefully will get to talk to you about in this episode because it is all kind of cool. I have dug out the entire base. Yep, everything we need is all dug out and we can start getting to work on this soon. I'm actually not going to at least start work on it right this moment because I'm still a little bit unsure about some certain design decisions. Like I got things in my test world and I just look at them and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's like yeah, that can work, but it's like I feel like I could do better. So yeah, eventually I think like when we do start to work on this, the first thing we will be doing will probably be making a storage room, like right here, dead center, and so on. And yeah, and we're gonna leave the back wall open just in case if we ever put an item sorter there. But anyways, first thing I really want to do, and since you know it's something I'm confident about and so on, and like I'm confident about doing it and so on, and I'm not gonna regret doing it later and whatever, is doing some landscaping. As you can see here, I have cut down. I have mined out, you know, pretty much all the mountains and so on here. Well, not mountains. I'm sorry, hills. And pretty much just because I didn't like the terrain here. It was just too steep to really build anything on. But at the same time, I don't want it to be completely flat, because if it's completely flat, it's kind of going to look like crap, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go for like a smooth slope kind of terrain here. I think I'm also going to try and like put in like a little bit of a river, some streams and so on through here. And I think that would really help give it a good look. And then in the future, if we so wish to like build a village area in here or something, we have the terrain right there to do it and so on. So yeah, I'm actually gonna get on with that right now, I suppose, and it's, you know, it's something that's not too interesting to commentate over, so I'm probably not going to commentate over it much. Well, maybe I could take that opportunity to actually tell you guys about some interesting things that I've been up to lately, I should say. So as I'm working on this, I feel like, and yes, I'm just leaving it hollow underneath, don't worry, I'll torch it up and so on, but as I'm wait a minute, am I getting this right? Yeah, okay, good. Just checking something. As I'm working on this, and so I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and talk about what I've been doing over the last few days. After the last episode, for about 3 days straight, I was working on this, hollowing it all, you know, digging it all out, and it did take quite some time, and so as you can imagine, I pretty much spent every day of those 3 days on here, you know, digging that all out and so on, and thanks to the efficiency 5 and pick and so on, and a beacon, which I believe we went for like 4 efficiency 5 picks just to do it and so on. And yeah, thanks to all that, I got it done and so on. Originally my goal was just like, okay, I can't realistically be expected to finish this thing before I record the next episode, and at the time I was thinking I was going to record the next episode like you know, to come out like, well, let's see, that episode came out on a Wednesday, right? So, that one would have came out on Saturday, or this one, technically, but, yeah, pretty much I was like, you know, I'm just gonna try and get the back end done so we can start work on the base, though I just haven't really thought of, exactly what, in terms of design, I really want. Now, I'm trying to think with this as well. Trying to make like a smooth kind of terrain that goes up and down. It's a little bit hilly and so on. And yeah, I think that's okay. Like this could go down a level right here maybe, and be a bit of a dip, perhaps, and so on. But yeah, after that, you know, and so I didn't really give much thought to recording like the next episode because I was kind of distracted by something. Distracted by the idea of per player difficulty. Pretty much allowing players to choose which difficulty they'd like to play at. And, you know, easy, normal, hard, you know. Stuff like that. But, you know, that way they could choose their own difficulty, but it wouldn't, you know, set the difficulty for the entire server to where everyone would be forced to play on easy, hard, or normal, or something. And so on. I've pretty much actually just been, you know, going ahead and playing around with that idea, and, you know, I've been coding a plugin and so on to do that. Pretty much allow people to set their own difficulty. Currently, it's just been like a lot of experimentation and so on, just making sure I got all my facts right and so on. So that way, I gotta make sure I know exactly how much damage everything does and so on. And for some things like creepers, where they blow up and the damage and stuff they do is it can change. And so I'm thinking for creepers, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of math there in order to get the proper damage that they're supposed to do to the player and so on. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really going into depth here, but yeah, I've pretty much been playing around with that idea and so on. And yeah, I'm really hoping I can make it become a thing, but even once I do kind of get it into a semi-working state and to work on my test server, I doubt it's going to be uploaded to the server that very moment. Just simply because, well, if I do /plugins or /pl for short right here, you'll see one of them is called YourMC. I've actually decided that pretty much with anything I code for this server, I'm just going to make it part of the YourMC plugin. I'm just going to make it part of one plugin, and so on. And, just have everything in one place. It's kind of just a bit easier that way, and so on. I don't know. I suppose, like, if I ever wanted to make a certain feature available, like, in a public plugin form, that could be kind of tricky, but at the same time, I'm not really planning to ever do that, so I'm not really too fussed or whatever about my... Would fussed be the right word? No. I'm not really too concerned about doing that and so on. So, yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to work when I eventually So basically, when I eventually have a version of the YourMC plugin that actually works, then I'll upload the updates on here and so on. But yeah, it'll be a while. It will definitely be a while and so on. And yeah, I mean, one thing to notice, the version of YourMC on here is what I call... It was pretty much a version just made to work, in the sense that... how would I put this? Pretty much it's a single class plugin. It's just made to all work in a single class. It only changes a few minor things. Virtually nothing except for like the messages you see on the server list when your client pings the server for the MOTD and is configurable and so on. And yeah, it pretty much comes down to that and so on. And pretty much, I guess, what am I trying to say? How can I put this into simpler terms? It's just a very limited version, and technically the version of the YourMC plugin I'm working on now, that has the per player difficulty and some other things I've been working on and off on, is like a entirely recoded version of YourMC and so on. Like with more configuration options. That way if I want to, on the fly, change out the, like, say I wanted to disable writable ender pearls. I just go into my config file, set them to be disabled, and then type like a command in game like /YourMC space reload. There we go. And the settings applied. I don't have to recompile and upload the jar or anything. It's just, simply that easy. And also, I think it's kind of a good idea to get in the habit of, I guess, soft coding in features and values and so on. That way, if I need to change them on the fly, I don't have to recompile the plugin. I don't have to go into the code, find out which line or whatever is responsible for the, like, which line has the variable I want to change or something. Like, say if it's a message or something, and I want to tweak a message. Well, rather than going into the code to tweak that, I can just go ahead and go into the config file and change the message there, and so on. So, yeah, that's nice, I suppose. But, yeah, anyways, I think this part of the train's starting to shape up. It's kind of looking a little bit weird. I think I should push this back just a slight bit, actually. So, yeah. I'm almost thinking, like, it would be really nice to actually do a time-lapse of me building this, well, not building, but doing this landscaping, but, yeah, I almost feel like it require a third-person view, and I don't really have the ability to get another Minecraft account to record. Well, I mean, technically, I guess I do have, like, another Minecraft account at my disposal, sort of. I just have to get permission to use it on here, but, pretty much... let's see, that looks really odd. I'm gonna push this back. But pretty much, what am I trying to say? Let's just say I've tried in the past to do like you know, time lapses where I gotta count, you know, from a third person view and overview and everything, and it just never really seemed to work. Anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop rambling and so on, and get back to work on this or whatever. Well, technically I've already been working on it, but you know what I mean. Hopefully I'll get back to you once this is all done. Well, there's how the terrain looks. I'd say it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Except for kind of one obvious problem. Let me fix that up real quick. Well, there we go. I don't know about you, but I quite like how this looks. Took me a while to get all to replace all the stone with dirt and so on, but yeah. I don't know about you, but I quite like how this looks. And you know, we got some, you know, the terrain actually slopes up and down, but it's not like the original where it sloped up and down, like, you know, into a lot to where it was just like, you know, we couldn't really build anything on it. So yeah, with this, you know, if we wanted to build some sort of town up here or something, we got the option to. You know, the terrain has some shape to it and so on, but it's not so much that it's going to get in the way of any possible building and so on. Anyways, over here, what are we gonna do over here? Well, nothing for now, because there's a lot of temporary stuff just in the way. So until all this temporary stuff goes, we are not gonna be going ahead and worry about the landscaping / terraforming over here. As for this stream, my plans with it is I'm going to probably like pull it from along here over to here somewhere. And I was thinking of having it go into like a drainage pipe of sorts, and then have that drainage pipe drain the water into an indoor, a mini indoor greenhouse maybe of some sort. I was thinking, you know what, that could be really dang cool if done right. I don't know. I don't know. I think that could be cool to have like an indoor greenhouse kind of area. I guess you could say like a mini version of Swan almost, and so on, because Swan is kind of like an entire greenhouse almost, if you kind of think of it almost, sort of. I mean, it's like you're inside, but you're not. Logic. But yeah. Anyways, it's actually getting quite late for me right now, but so yeah. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Next, we are actually going to be working on the base here and so on, like the actual architecture of it, getting the basic looks in it and so on. So yeah, but anyways, I'm getting tired and so on, as you could tell, because I'm having a hard time talking. So yeah, I'm actually gonna go ahead and take care of it tomorrow. So I will see you guys then, but except for one more thing. I wanted to show you guys one more thing, and that is Frame Picture is back on the server. Finally, it took quite a while for it to update, but yeah, went ahead, got like a shader kind of screenshot I took of my old base a while back. And I don't know about you, but I'd say that looks pretty good. The base looks a little bit weird, but I don't know. That looks pretty good. You know, if we blew this up even more, because this is a 3x5 image, if we blew this up even more, it may look a little bit better, but I don't know. I'll consider that later. I'll likely move it inside the base along with having other images around the base, but a little sub goal of this base design also is to make sure none of this is all laggy at all. You know, to where pretty much like my old base, because of the item sorter, it was like it would get me, and of like wow, for some reason my frame rate's not as high as I'd expect it to be right now. Maybe it's the item frames. It could entirely be. I blame item frames. Let's get out of range of them. That is odd. I don't know, maybe it's just I got a few too many entities here. I mean, I got a lot of chickens there. But yeah, at my old base, pretty much I could never maintain like 60 inside the disk. I could never maintain 60 frames per second. For this base, we want to make sure we want to make sure our frame rate stays at 60 or over. Is pretty much my goal and so on, and also make sure, you know, for other people that it's not too laggy. Now, of course, whatever we build here, it's inherently going to make the place laggier than if it was just fresh 1.8 terrain, but Yeah, you pretty much get my point. We're just going to try our best to not make it too laggy, and so on. But yeah, anyways, I'm done rambling for now. See you guys tomorrow. Well, it is another day, and once again, we are here in my test world. And we are here because I wanted to show you some things that we will be, you know, a few of them will be built in this episode, a few of them episodes end up down the road, maybe, and so on. And also, I just wanted to get your feedback on them. First off, this arch, and so on. This is for, like, the back wall of the base. Still have to, you know, consider the kind of angle thing, sort of. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that, but yeah, as you can see, it's pretty much like a mini kind of arch version that this fawn has, almost. Would that be the right word? Like arch or whatever? I think so. Yeah. And so on. And I'm just going to be going with that. It's all stone bricks, which can be seen as kind of a downside, but I kind of don't mind it. I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious. How would polished andesite look in here, like in between everything? Oh wow, that kind of looks cool. That legitimately looks cool. Hold on. Huh. You know what? I like it. I kind of like it more than just the plain stone bricks here. Using the polished andesite in here. It gives it just a little bit of a different texture, but it's not jarring or anything. You know? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. But you know what? I think I'll definitely keep that. So for the archways here, we'll go ahead and definitely have polished andesite in them. I don't know, maybe we could actually squeeze some other blocks in there that would look good, but I can't really think what else we could squeeze in there with the limited kind of room we gotta work with and so on. And still keep everything looking good. But yeah, polished andesite's a go. I wonder, granite likely not, but you know what? Diorite. I am kinda curious. I don't know. I think that's, I think it's just like a bit too, would pronounced be the right word? It's just, you know, this. Yeah, that I like. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to be doing for the archways. I guess the one minor part that bothers me... Wait a minute. There's something wrong here. 1, 2... Yeah, this goes right here at this... Oh! I forgot the slabs there. I was just like, you know, I don't like how, you know, there's just like no block there slash thing. And that is one thing. This does have half slabs on it on the top and bottom, so mobs won't spawn and so on. And hey, since it's on the bottom, that means technically bats when it's spawn. But then again, I don't think they can spawn. Pretty sure they can't. So yeah, I'd say that definitely gets a thumbs up in my book. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Next I wanted to show you guys this. And so I was considering this for like one of the side support beams going up into, you know, for the kind of room slash thing that we got at the top. I don't know what we're gonna call it at all. I don't even know what we're gonna call the base, really. So, you know. Yeah, that is one thing. If you got a good name for the base, nail it down in the comments, because I really want to give this thing a nice name, but I just can't really think of anything. You know, since it's shaped in a shape of a triangle, I was thinking maybe I could give it a name that starts with the letter T. But I don't know. Anyways, this is what I got right here, and I kind of like it. I mean, I think the shape and the sheer size of it will kind of carry it and make it look good, but at the same time, it's all stone bricks. It doesn't really... I don't know. Maybe we could squeeze some polished andesite in there and so on, and that may look good like it kind of did in the arch. But I don't know. Really. Over here, I got like the center one that I didn't build up enough to really get a sense of how that would look. But yeah, I can pretty much kind of picture it in my head. I sort of. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if these type of looking supports are gonna be exactly what we want. I mean, at the same time, it looks, it kind of gives that really grand sense of, you know, sail slash this thing's holding up something heavy or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. And also inside of here, we got plenty of room to do stuff with, or at least I feel we do. We can have like for example, we could have like a staircase at the top end. At the bottom end could be, say, like utility sort of stuff, almost like item, what is it, item ice trails or whatever, item transport systems or whatever, if we wanted to transport items down. When it comes to transporting items up, however, that's where this gets to be a bit like, don't know exactly what we're gonna do there. I don't know. Maybe I could come up with some sort of contraption for that, but at the same time, I don't think we're ever going to be transporting items up here. But down, yeah, I could definitely say we probably will be, and so on. So, yeah, anyways, one last thing before we go back in game that I wanted to show off here, and that is an array of 15 furnaces smelting system thingy. Yeah, that official name. Slap it on right there. Anyways, basically it's an auto smelting furnace system that's based on the one that, you know, we built into, like, what was it? We built it in episode 6. So let me think. Yeah, we built in episode 6. So yeah, it's pretty much based on that, but it's got some extra circuits and so on to, you know, make sure it doesn't actually break like the one we have in there. I've narrowed down pretty much, I believe, all the flaws with the previous one, and I believe this one fixes them all, so in theory it should work perfectly and so on. As you can see, I got stuff smelting in here, and this thing is fast. Like, let's just look here. It's just like, I think I did the math on it. What was it? Was it just like every 0.6 seconds you're getting an item end up coming through the chest? I think. Was it 0.6 seconds? That was averaged, by the way. As you can see, they tend to come in like groups and so on. But yeah, pretty powerful smelting system, and I think we'll definitely be building it on the server. And who knows? Maybe I'll actually consider doing a tutorial on it one day. But then again, I kind of want to run it through more paces, and, you know, pretty much first I want to build it on the server, have myself be the guinea pig, make sure it all works all fine before I go off making a tutorial or anything on it. But then again, I don't know if I really will, because, you know, tutorial kind of content isn't really what this channel is about. What is it about? I have no clue. But yeah, that's it for now. We're gonna go back onto the server, and we're going to start building these archways on the back wall, and also choose their position. Well, I'll choose for positioning off screen or whatever, because currently I'm oh boy, so much stuff to talk about. I feel like I'm just confusing half of you, more than half of you, all of you. Sorry about that. Anyways, meet you back on the server. Well, here we are back on the server, and I am trying to figure out what should be the proper distance between arches. Right here is the middle block. Right here is 5 blocks in between pretty much the middle block right here. And that pretty much means for every one of these other arches, there's 11 blocks of glass in between, or whatever, 11 blocks thick of glass. And one thing I'm kind of concerned about is, if we look over here, what I'm concerned about is, like, what I'm going to do here at the corner. I'm wondering, like, am I going to do something special here where I'm going to have some sort of arch diagonally, or maybe I'm not going to do that at all or something. I'm kind of concerned with it not meeting up with these arches all that well. I mean, what if we do actually have an arch here, like diagonally, starting from like here, and then there's like an arch right there, and so on. I don't know. That kind of looks a bit close. It can work, but I don't know. I like the distance of 11 blocks. I think 11 blocks is about right. You know, it gives us just enough room, but, you know, like, it's just enough room, but it's not too much. I'm not 100% sure there, but you know what? Now that I think about it, like, if we did have an arch going diagonally this way, and we had this one going right here, even though we both be very close to each other, I don't think that would actually be a problem. I don't think that'd actually be too much of a problem. Perhaps like on the other side, we make sure we also have an arch closely by, ends up going across right there. And I think that can work. I think that can entirely work. It also does come to one thing, like the support going diagonally up that way and so on. Is it going to interfere with these arches in a sense? My guess is no, not really. I guess it's going to kind of interfere with the architecture on the outside of it, but I don't think so. And you know what, the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think 11 blocks, you know what, perfect space. I'm sorry, I can't say my words today. Oh boy. For some reason, I don't know. I think 11 blocks for the spacing is just fine. And yeah. Well, I have just double checked the distance in between of where each one of the arches will go. And it is all exactly 11 blocks. I got it all lined up perfectly. That is good. Because I don't want to build this and then be like, oh, well, crap, I got to tear it down and, you know, because I'm one block off or something. So, yeah. With that in mind, I am actually going to get started on building this. But you know what? I also thought that, hey, this could make a nice little time lapse. So I thought I'd go ahead and time lapse it for you. And go ahead and put in some music and so on. Don't know what kind of music I'll use, but I'm sure I'll think of something. Oh my goodness, did that take a lot of time. Like, literally. And a lot of blocks, as you can imagine. Here we are down here in the trench part, as you can see, and my goodness. I quite like how that looks. I can't wait till we can put glass on it and so on. But, yeah, it's actually getting quite late for me today. Well, not really late. But it's just like I'm getting... You know, I've been playing on here for several hours straight. I just need a break. And also, this is probably a good place to end off the episode here. So, yeah, everyone. In between episodes, I will definitely be going ahead and putting on the glass roof, so that way we're not spending an episode just putting that on and so on, or part of an episode. So, yeah, everyone. I guess that's it. Man, I'm terrible with outros, I know, but whatever. If we step back here, like, look at that. I love how that looks. Freaking awesome. And there's me taking fall damage for no reason. Kind of annoying. It seems to be a side effect of having No Cheat Plus installed, which I did recently install, and so on the server. And on a side note, if you do encounter any issues you believe are No Cheat Plus related, just simply report them on the forums, in the bug tracker forum, please, because yeah, if I don't know an issue exists, then I can't even begin to start fixing it. So yeah, there's that. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling now. Anyways, guys, until next time, I will see you later. Bye.